Hey there. So finally I'm here live. I got caught up in a drawing, so I didn't make it before because I had to finish it, and it's a very nice one. So a little bit later, not too late, I hope. So here's the Weirdie of the 10th of January that we're gonna color. And I'm gonna stick with the plan of yesterday that I'm just gonna expand on this set of colors that I used yesterday, because I think that could be interesting. And that will make me get to know these chameleons better, the set in total and whole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take like a yellow that I think should be between this yellow and the orange. And then I'm gonna go for an orange that's gonna be between the red and the orange, a darker orange, hopefully. And I'm gonna try to go for a darker red. And I don't think I'm gonna go for the burgundy. I think I'm gonna go for the crimson red that I'm hoping will be darker than the vermilion. Then I'm gonna go for like a pink that I would like to have between the fuchsia and the purple. And I'm gonna go for the mauve there. And then I'm gonna go for something that I want between the blue and the purple. I'm gonna go for lavender there, hoping that it will be a nice lavender. Then I want a blue between the dark blue and the turquoise. And I'm not gonna go for the cobalt. Or am I go for the royal? I think I'm gonna go for the sky blue. As I recall, the baby blue was irrelevant because it didn't have any color really. And then the turquoise and the green, I'm gonna go for something in between here that's called aquamarine. Aquamarine. Then I want something between the green and the other green, and I'm gonna go for the dark sage. And I want one to go between this green and the actual yellow, so I'm gonna go for the green apple there. So now I've kind of like expanded, so we should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I doubled the amount of colors in the range, and then we're gonna work with those and see how it works out for us. So welcome everyone. I'm just looking now at the comments. Sorry that you was waiting. I'm sorry. I just, I got caught up in drawing, and that happens to me sometimes, and I just can't stop. And yeah. So anyways, I'm sorry about that. But I'm ready to go for it. So hi Patricia, hi Ross, hi Heather, hi Tina. Awesome. See you later, maybe, Tina. So, yeah. So now this is the expanded color range. So now we got 18, working with 18 colors instead of the 19 of yesterday. So that's pretty good. I think we're sort of getting the real row of these colors, how they should really line up. I hope. There's no guarantees in it, but I'm hoping that this will make sense to me. So we might, it's a nice way of getting them in order. Oh, thank you so much, Tina. That's really awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's important that we share because it's not getting so much coverage right now because of the fact that I can't share either. And I can't share like daily everywhere, where normally I will remind people of, the freebie and to go get the drawing and join us and all that. And I really can't do that at the moment at the same rate as I've been doing before. So I'm just going to start with the yellow there. And I'm definitely also going to start in here. I just want to get this going in there. So I was drawing, and I drew a few new Weirdie for the collection. And I also finally took away all the ones we colored in December, and I made that new set that I said I was gonna do. So there you have the awesome 11 that we did color during December live, and that has been available. They're in there. And then all my colored, the 11 that I colored, there are also those in there, so that you can have some like reference or whatever if you like it. They're in there. And then I added additionally 39 drawings that I don't think I've published before. So yeah, there's 39 new drawings also in that set. So definitely there is a value for the money. It's set at $9.99, and if you share socially from the buy now page, then you'll get the 50%. So I think that's a good value, because you're getting 39 new drawings, the 11 from December, that if you didn't already have them, you'll get them in there. And then you also get PDF, well, you know, a PDF with my colors, which might be fun and inspiring, you know, for reference or whatever. You know, you might even decide to print it out if you like. It's really up to you. You're getting them in there. So as long as you just mention that they're more colored. So yeah, that's all in there. So it's a great pack, and it has diversity. Hi Grace, nice to see you, and welcome from NYC. Oh, thank you Patricia for sharing. I'm so happy with that. Hi Kat, nice to see you. From Louisiana, nice to see you. We're getting around the world, and I'm here from Denmark, from Copenhagen, Denmark. So you're all the way in Scandinavia with me, up in the north. So yeah, so I got that set up. So of course those are not up there anymore. I got them removed, and I got the new setup, and I'm happy about that. And I hope, you know, that you'll like it, and if you do, please buy and get a discount if you like. So that's more or less it. And I don't think that will be coming out as a book at all. I am coloring with Chameleon markers right now. Chameleon. Yesterday I made a set of 9 in sequence for yesterday's coloring, and then I expanded on it today to sort of get to know the colors before I start playing with color tones on them. So I'm just going to be like checking out the sequence, where I've just sort of doubled the number of colors today to see if they have a good sequence. I do like to go for rainbow effect, so that's what I'm going for. I'm just starting in the middle all the way down because I like that. If I didn't, yeah, then I probably wouldn't. But yeah, I like that. I like this going for the middle here. I'm just gonna go there and there also. And this was where we talked about the crazy bulls. That this might be a bull drawing, like a bull here and a bull here. And they chased down the bullfighters, and they got the bullfighters' hats here as trophies. That was what I was talking about yesterday, raving about. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it right now still. So I think, you know, I still got that bull image with this. I do have an interesting bull story that I'll tell you of my own. Let me see, what more do we like here? I think I'm gonna go here as well. You're new, Grace. So you, in the link, in the description, there's a link where you can get today's drawing. And it's set at 0+, which means that you can take it for free, or you can, if you feel like it, you can add a tip. But that way you can color with us. You can grab it and print it and color with us. Mine is printed in A3. That's like double the US letter size. and that's because it's just easier for the camera, and I like coloring in this size, but it's also easier for you guys to see and follow me, and I don't get in the conflict with the camera constantly. So you're welcome to go grab the Weirdie. We've been coloring a Weirdie a day, and this is our 10th day of color Weirdie a day. And every day we have a live. I color one of them live, and we sort of have fun. There's nothing that says that you have to color a Weirdie. You can color whatever you like, or not color, and just, you know, hang out and have a good time and chat in, and that's fine. So there's no real obligation, so anything here, we just have a good time and enjoy the time we have. So that's sort of it. So you're really welcome, and nice to see you. So yeah, we went through the first of the yellow. So let's see the second yellow, the one that was a little bit darker, that I was thinking would go in between the orange and the yellow, and that one was called Warm Sunset. That sounds very promising. I mean, I could definitely use a warm sunset and a cocktail. That would be pretty neat. A neat cocktail, sitting on a nice beach, enjoying a warm sunset. Yeah, only in my dreams. I'm sitting in Copenhagen. It's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, and it's gray and dark. I'm not that far from the beach, though. I could take the metro to the beach, but it would be a very cold experience and not that enjoyable at this time of year. You would have to be dressed to the aces, and it would probably also have to be in the daytime. Here is like 23 p.m. at night, so it's 11 o'clock in the evening. I know a lot of you are on afternoon time, so we are on different time zones, which sometimes makes it hard to coordinate. And that's just why I go on this late, because for me that is late. Now I am a night owl, so I'm fine with it, but it is late here in my country. Most people actually go to bed really early here, interestingly enough. They do like to get up early in the morning. I've never understood that concept, but I think we're all different, so it's just a live and let live thing. Nothing should ever go on before 10 a.m. at all, in my opinion. It should just, like, you know, peaceful. So yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and color, and I'll be talking. And if you guys have questions, you can always. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. Thank you, Kat, for sharing. That's really sweet of you. And in Australia, it's 9 a.m. Oh, that's an early one. So yeah, there's both afternoon, late evening, and 9 a.m. We're all over the place here, which is cool. I mean, this is what makes it fun, isn't it? That we're all over the place. We're an international bunch, so that is nice and happening. And yeah, as I said, I was delayed because I was drawing as usual. Kitchen is a mess again because I cooked dinner, but then after eating, I just felt like chilling a little bit in the sofa with a drawing, and there was a movie, and it seemed like a good one. So I was watching the movie while I was drawing, and then I got caught up in the drawing totally. I actually did a couple of drawings, and they're all really lovely, promising new Weirdies. Ah, Barbara joined. That's awesome. It's always great to see someone that you know join. I even saw, like, there was one day I saw one of my old teachers from the multimedia design. A couple of days in a row he actually joined. He didn't say anything, but I saw he joined. So I thought that was pretty cool that my old teachers was checking out what I was doing. So yeah, kitchen is a mess again, so I have plenty of work afterwards. I did update with your wonderful colors in the colored album on my page. Can't do it in the groups since I'm in Facebook jail again. I can't update anything in the groups, and not in the Color Weirdie group either. But I do see your posts, and I see your pictures, and I grab them and I update the album here. And I have mark them in my folder so that I know that I didn't update them in that album. So when I'm back in action in the groups, I will be updating whatever is not in the, hi Luann, nice to see you. Whatever is not in the album on Color Weirdie Day group, I will be updating that too when I'm out of Facebook prison. And again, Abel. Yeah, you've been in Twitter too. I haven't been in Twitter one, but I don't tweet a lot. But I do have a lot of groups, which means that I have a, you know, when I post to a lot of groups and they don't like that. But this time I don't think that was the reason, because I've been really, really careful lately since the last time I was. So I'm trying, but it seems like they got bots taking care of it with algorithms. So there's no real human interaction to actually determine that you're not the spammer or somebody who's molesting people, that you're actually posting relevant material to people who are genuinely interested in your very relevant material. And I have complained, but I don't think that anybody looks at those complaints at all. So I think it's like beating your head against the wall. And I don't really like beating my head against the wall. Hi, welcome, Kathy from from Montreal. Nice to see you. Well, you know, you never get an explanation of how you ended. It can be somebody reporting you for wrong content or something, but I mean, I don't really do nudity. I mean, okay, my hands, the kind of nudity that could be. I just color and draw. I'm an artist. But this time I hadn't overposted or anything. I've been really careful, so I don't know. It can also, you know, in the comic book world, it could be a jealous artist who got together with some others and reported you. You know, because if enough people report you, you also get shunned by Facebook, and they don't really research if it's correct or not. They just sort of lock you out. So it's not very fair system, is it? But I'm over it. I continue. At least, you know, my art page is not a group. It's sort of a fan page, sort of a community. So it's not really a group, which means that I can still post my live videos here and continue. Hello, Mary, you're from NYC too. Then we got 2 from NYC. That's cool. And my hair is again in the tripod with the camera. The bun is like driving me crazy. But I also don't want to have it down and have it all over the place, because that will also drive me crazy. So it's like picking from 2 nasty things, 2 annoying things. So I'll stick with getting my head stuck in the tripod and hope that it won't fall over. If it does, I'll pick it up. So yeah, I'm having my cigarette and I'm having my glass of wine, and we're coloring. And I'm dreading when I'm finished that I have to go clean the kitchen after the food. Oh, yesterday it magically cleaned itself, actually. I told my dad that I was going to clean it after, but he actually did clean it. But he didn't do that today. How rude. But I think he has a lot of pain in his shoulder, so it's understandable. Yesterday it was very nice of him to do it. Thank you, Susie. Susan. This is a very nice one. I love this one. It's like the bulls. And these bulls, they have trophies. Bullfighter had trophies, I think they are. In my opinion, they are, so that's cool. So yeah, we're just gonna be coloring from the inside out and see how it spreads out and how it will fit in the end. You know, that's always the interesting part, to see how it will turn out. I do like this a lot. I love this drawing, but I like them all. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in my books, would they? Otherwise, they would have been sorted away. So I think this is going to be really neat. I don't remember which colors I used the first time I colored it, but this time it's going to go full rainbow on it, hopefully. And we'll see. We'll get to know those chameleon colors a little bit better. And hopefully, you know, I'll find my perfect sequence of colors in the end, because there are 52 there. So once I find a really good sequence and I know the colors well, then we can move on and try to play with the color tops. I'm looking forward to playing with the color tops, but I really want to have a handle on the colors first, which is why I'm not doing any special effects or using even the grading that you can do with them. I could go from light to dark, but I really just want to have a feel of them, get used to everything with them, the tip and everything. So we have plenty of time. I mean, this color Weirdie day, there's 366 Weirdies, so we got about 356 days left. Well, there's a leap day, but we'll have to color 2 there because, you know, imagine if somebody joins us and they're one of those unfortunate people who only have a happy birthday, only have a birthday every 4th year. At least they deserve the color Weirdie includes leap day. So, hi Bev, nice to see you too. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy when you get blocked, especially if you don't have a reason. You know, it's another thing if you're a troll and you're being mean in the community or posting nasty ass stuff or something like that. You know, that is, you know, that then I understand it. Or spammers who are trying to con people or things like that. Then I understand that there needs to be some kind of policing system, but it needs to be run by people who can actually look into it and see if it's correct in those cases, you know, because in some cases it's not correct. Oh, you are still working on day 7. Yeah, but you know, don't take, you know, it doesn't matter when you work on it or when you finish. And, you know, some people finish number 1 now, you know, it is not about doing an actual Weirdie a day. It's just about joining in and having fun and coloring the ones that you like, you know. There might also be one day a Weirdie that you don't really have a feeling to do. Then, you know, you should do another one, you know. There's no obligations. And if you don't feel like coloring a Weirdie, color something else. And you can turn them around. That's what I always suggest, that before you start coloring, look at them from both sides and see which side talks to you. So that's what I mean. The way that they are put is the way that I drew them when I originally drew them. But that does not mean that it can't work equally well on the other way around, because it depends what you see and what you focus on. So that's just a suggestion that I always try to say, because you're making it yours. Once you have it and you start coloring it, it's becoming yours. And then it's an interaction, an exchange. And then it's wonderful to see those results, how different our results can be, and how much inspiration we can find in that. That is really one of the main reasons for doing it. And then, of course, relaxing and interacting and having a good time, a couple of hours, just chill and hang out. So that's what I enjoy about it. And you see Napoleon hats. That makes me think of cakes, because we have some cakes here that are called Napoleon hats with a marzipan inside and a chocolate bottom that are really delicious. So now you got me thinking about cake, Susan, because you said Napoleon hats. They're really good. It's a long time since I had one of those. And yeah, my daughter went to the experimentarium with the school today, and she had been looking so much forward to it. But it didn't seem like it had been any great success when she came home. She was none too thrilled. So she wasn't really happy about it, which is rare because she's normally a very happy camper. But she was definitely not happy today. So yeah, that was not so good. But you know, she'll be fine tomorrow. We had a good time after she came home. We cooked and had something nice to eat, and so that was okay. You know, it's not every time that all days are the best, and even for children, not all days can be the best. But I think they put her in a group is because they're like putting together 4 different classes of the same year. And now they want to take all the kids and shuffle them around and make 3 classes. So they're going to be like really a lot of kids in each class. And they're going to already shuffle them and mix them up. On the 1st of February, they have to go to their new classes. And she's scared because she doesn't, you know, she's happy with the class where she's in. She's happy with the teachers, and they're just going to mix them all up. And she's afraid, you know, now they have to do things with the other classes to get to know each other. And she's so scared that she's going to be with some people that she don't like. So yeah, I guess that's stressful when you're 8 years old and you're used to things being one way, and all of a sudden everything as you know it is going to change. I mean, that's not a lot of fun. But you know, it's a part of life, and it's going to be happening all your life. You never know which work college you're going to get, or when you go to college or something. This will happen all your life. So I'm not seeing it as a bad thing. I'm just thinking that they didn't handle it very well in how they told the kids and stuff like that. But in the end, I think it would be okay. Like I said to her then, instead of knowing only 24 kids really great, then you'll know a whole new set and know like double as many in the year you're in, and that will help you when you grow older, because they will keep continuing to switch up. Hi, Danny, nice to see you. And Rose, awesome to see you too. So, you know, that was going to be a part of life always, that these things happen, that things change, and we can't count on everything being the same. So it's just a little bit like tough love, suck it up, which I don't like. I don't say that to my daughter because she's a very sensitive little person. I'm not as sensitive as her, I think. She takes everything more to heart. Where life has taught me to let go. And hopefully she will learn that very late, because, you know, it's nice to have that innocence and that belief in everything, and have that retained as long as possible. So, lovely. I think it's going well so far. I'm happy with the sequence of the colors. They're not too bad or anything. So I think now we're going for the first red. And when I'm looking at these 2 reds, they're really, really similar. And I just wanted to have a piece of paper. I have an envelope here. I just want to see which one is the darker. I'm just like, that was this one. So yeah, I think this is the darker. So I'm going to switch them up like that. This one is actually not like really perfect, is it? That was a vermilion that we used yesterday. Let me just see if there's another red one that I think is better. There's 2 other reds. So I'm gonna try them just to see. This one was the vermilion, and then there's a red coral. It's more pinkish. This is burgundy, that's too dark. So yeah, well, that gets the closest to what I wanted there. So I'll just have to run with that. Unfortunately, not really what I wanted. So yeah, I'm gonna run with it. So it will be this one. I would have hoped that there had been one that was more clear red. So hi Sandra, nice to see you. And so yeah, and I did put up the speed video from yesterday. It's always nice if you haven't been there, you know, then might be a lot to watch, like 2 hours and 40 minutes of coloring. Whereas then there's a speed version where you can see it in 2 hours and 50 seconds, in 2 minutes and 50 seconds, sorry. So it's nice to get that recap. There's also the whole recap video of our whole week and everybody's colored that I made yesterday. well, it was the day before yesterday, of the first 7 days of color Weirdie a day. I think it's gone really well. There's almost 100 colored in the colored album now, so that's a lot. I think it's 92, so there's more than 10 a day. So a lot of colored, beautiful colored. So that's really nice to see. So that album is developing rapidly. So we'll have to see if we can have the whole month in that album, or we'll have to switch it up or something. That would be interesting. So actually I'm thinking I might have to go on this one for the red here. Just continue out. Because it's sort of natural towards this one. It's going to be interesting when I have to refill these. I'm waiting and seeing how long it will take before I'll have to refill them. It's kind of, I'm getting to know these a lot better. Of course, you know, now I'll switch it up and we'll work with some other markers or some other pencils. My arm is totally good now, so there's only like a little bit when I stretch it totally, but I can stretch it. The pain is gone. I'm coloring Weirdie number 10 from my series books, my series of Weirdies, where I've got 12 books, one for each month, with a Weirdie for each day. And you can get the drawing on the link in the description, and it's set at 0+, so you can get it for free or add a tip if you like, so you can color with us. And I put up always a new Weirdie every day. That will be when you're in there, when you press that link, then under the title of the drawing it says AMVW art, and that will take you to my PayHip homepage, and you'll be able to find all of them there. So that's where you will get them, on my PayHip. And all of the Weirdies I have retained, like all of the ones that we put up since the first, they're still there and available for all of you. And they're all set at 0, so that you can get them for free or add a tip if you like, which will help me to keep going. But they're all there, and they're on the last pages of my PayHip. I think right now there's 8 or 9, 10 pages, 8 or 9 with products. And on the last pages are all the Weirdies that we've been coloring so far. And both number 11 and number 12 are up as well. I'll make the post about number 12 a little bit later, after when I finished, where I also changed the banner of the page, so that you can sort of see which one we're going to color tomorrow. And so you can get them, grab them in there, and yeah, leave a tip if you can. And the reason I put it like this is because I know that some people have financial problems, and I do think that this project, everybody should be able to participate. So it's possible even for those who can't afford to leave a tip, that I want them to be able to participate as well. So that's the idea in the background, because you can of course also buy the books or the whole PDF with all the drawings in them. But this way I just also put it available, because it's nice if as many join us as possible and don't find their financial situation to be blocking them from taking part of this this fun thing. And those who can just leave a tip and help me out that way. So I'm hoping that that will work. And I have decided that this first month, all of them from each day will stay up, so that those who join us later can go in and grab the previous ones. And then when it's when we come to the end of it all, I'll probably make a special PDF with all of them, including my colors. Not quite sure yet, but it could be an idea. And then I'll make some reasonable price on that selection, because that would be very special to get with my colors as well. I think that would be very special. But I'm not sure, but at least they will go away after the first. I'll probably leave them up 1 week and then that's it, or something, a couple of days, or, you know, just give people a chance. And then we will continue with the February Weirdies and move on into that, and that's sort of how it's gonna be, because I can't leave all 366 up, as that would take up too much space and it would be difficult to find anything in there if I do so. So yeah, you can grab them in there on the PayHip, and the link to this particular page is in the description of the post, and on that, under the title of the page, that it says AMVW Art, and if you click on that, you'll go to the main page of my PayHip, and there you can find them all. So that's that was the practical info. Also, another thing on my PayHip is that, on the contrary, but when you click buy now on the Facebook, you will be taken to Etsy, because that one is connected. But I don't have a lot on Etsy. But on the PayHip, I have a lot, and I have an album where I have some of it put. I didn't put everything. I didn't update it. So this is a new red. And on the PayHip, you can get 50%, but it's only on the PayHip. It doesn't go for the Etsy. Etsy is a different system. So it's only on the PayHip, where PayHip will register if you share from the buy now page. And that's of course on the things I have for sale. You can't get 50% of something that's set at 0, so that's impossible. So, but do feel free to share, then others can find it too. You know, the more people who can find it and join us and play with the Weirdies, the more fun we'll have and the more lovely colored we'll see. So that's always a good thing. And I'm going to continue this one because that was the last red here. So this red is going to go down here, which I think is going to be awesome. Yes. So I'm sort of continuing in a sequence. So this continues down, spreads out here. So this is how I color. This is just flat, there's no tricks. So it's kind of easy to follow. Ah, pencil, that sounds good. You have colored up to January 10th. Oh, you need to post them so I can get them in the next video. I don't know if you saw, Susan, the video recap I did of the first 7 days. Really lovely. I tried to grab all your colors so that I can put them in there so that you can all see your own colors in the video. Video kills the radio star. Yeah. So I tried to get all of them in because it's just so nice to see each other's colors and just have those little recaps. I don't know how often, it depends on time issues when I have a time to put the videos together, because it does take a lot of time, it's very time consuming. But I'll try to keep it updated. If at least not on a weekly basis, then there will at least be a whole one for the month. And I'll be putting in all the colors that I find. I'll also be posting them on the album, and I'll be adding your names so that it's known who colored it, because I think that's important. So yeah, that's sort of practical info also, a little bit of practicalities. And I've seen a lot of people have grabbed them, so I'm sure that there's a lot more colored out there than what we see. It's not everybody who feels like sharing their colors, and nobody should in any way feel pressured to share their colors, because, you know, all that's really important is that you're enjoying it and having a good time with it. Of course, it's wonderful for all of us to see the colors, But you know, if somebody's sitting there thinking, oh no, I don't want to share my color, you know, don't feel pressure. Just, you know, enjoy yourself and join us anyways. It's not a requisite for participating that you have to share them. There's no requisites or demands in my world like that. I like to do everything freely, you know, like that you can just have a good time and don't expect a lot. That way you get surprised more positively than negatively. If you have a lot of expectations to everything, you will often get disappointed. The world can become a very disappointing place if you're always expecting everything. So just join in and have fun. That's more or less the most important thing. Patricia, if you can send me a PM, because it's difficult for me to find you on the PMs if I don't have one already from you. So if you can send me a PM, then I'll try to do some screenshots of how to exactly do it, and hopefully that will help you, if that's cool with you, to send you just on my page, next to the Shop Now button, there's a button that says message. You just say message and you just write, hi, Patricia here. And then afterwards, I will try to help you with the screenshots of how to do it so that you get the whole picture. And that's not a bother. I would love to help you, you know? So I will help you with that. But just send me a PM first, because it can be difficult. And now that I'm in Facebook prison, I might not even be able to send you a message first. You might have to send me one. So make sure that you're following my page. I think that makes it easier. So for me to send to you. Great, you're welcome. And I'll do my best to help you. I always try my best. That's all we can do. Always try our best. Otherwise, why bother in the first place if we don't try our best? So yeah, my little mantras of how I feel and how I see things. Oh, I finished that one that I was talking about yesterday, that drawing. It's absolutely awesome. I feel like sharing it already, but I have to clean it and vector it and make it lovely. So, but I'll definitely be sharing it. I have to show you guys because I'm in love with it. It's very different, but it's really funny. And I think it's funky and might be a challenge to color. So here we go. We're going into the fuchsia. So that was a very pink one, I remember. Yeah, the very, very pink one. But a nice color though. Nice color all the same. I think it could be fun if we find a way to work in all the colors in the set, so that I get a nice sequence with all of them going, even including the browns and the ones that I usually don't touch as much. I think that could be pretty neat, to work on this selection of colors so that I get it all elaborated in and get them ordered in the way that I want them to be ordered. And of course soon we're going to go into purple, so it's going to be switching up. Right now everything looks on fire because it's all yellow, orange, red and pink, but it will go into purple soon, and then it will start switching into blue and green and going back, and we'll get that rainbow we're looking for. It's only to see what's at the end of the rainbow. So yeah, and I'm happy that the arm is feeling better. It was like a little bit scary because I was like thinking, no, I can't like not be able to color or something. So it's good that it's sort of settled. and it doesn't have any pain anymore. So that is reassuring, and I can continue to work on and do this with you guys. And then we'll see when we get some guest hosts, because I should probably also have a day off sometime. But you know, I'll wait until we have a guest host, and probably with the first time we have a guest host, I'll probably be commenting and everything anyways, but it could be nice, you know, if sometimes I can sort of do something else maybe. Not that I need it right now, but you know, I might get invited on a date. You never know. The pay hip. If you go to like, okay, let me see. I'm just going to post the link of the collection. Okay. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to go in here in the comments. And I'm going to post the link to the collection. So the link to the collection I just added in the comments here. So this is the collection. So if you click that, then you'll go into the collection, and you will get a page where there's the promotional picture where it says the December collection plus Maria's colored and an additional 39 new drawings to have awesome coloring fun with. Then you scroll down, then it says the title is the collection, and it says by AMVW Art. And if you click on that, you get to my PayHip page where you can see everything. But on the other side, it says $9.99, excluding VAT. VAT is for Europe. And underneath, you can click buy now. But underneath, it says share and get 50% off. So that means before you click buy now, you go down and click the button that says share and get 50% off. When you click that, you can choose to share it as a tweet, or you can choose to share it to Facebook. And you just click either tweet or the like on Facebook. And for instance, if you say, I will tweet, because, you know, then there will come up your Twitter. You'll have to log in and tweet it. I'm not logged in on this computer, so unfortunately, you know, but then it will have registered. And after that, you will see that the $9.99 is crossed out and now says 5. So that's how you get the discount. I hope this helps. And if you want to go see the rest of the books, then you just click on the AMVW Art, and then you will get to my page where there will be pictures of the products. And those places where there's not a picture, where there's just a blue book, that means that there's actually a video preview of all the pages inside the book. So if you click view, it will take you to the page of the book. And on top of the description of the book, there'll be a play button, and you will be able to see the pictures inside the book on the video. So I hope this helps some. This is the easiest way I can explain it. So I hope that my description helps some of you. And sharing is good, because hopefully I can get some business and earn a little bit more than I'm earning, so that I can pay the bills and buy food and get my daughter new clothes and get materials and stuff like that, especially materials now, because I'm going to need materials with coloring a Weirdie a day. So yeah, anyways, that's just how it's done. It's quite easy once you get there. I think that probably the problem is the confusion about the shop now button, because it might, some of you might have misunderstood that for being to my PayHip, and that is only for the Etsy account. So maybe I should just delete that Etsy account and then just stick with only PayHip. I don't know if that might be an idea to make it a little bit easier. I don't want it to be too complicated. But I do have the Etsy shop. But I have very little on it, because there's just not enough room, and they take a lot more money from me than PayHip does. This is why I like PayHip. There's more room. I can upload my bigger books. In my bigger books, there is not room for those on Etsy. There's simply not We simply don't have room for enough heavy files as it takes to put my big books up there. So that's sort of one reasoning. So you see here, this will continue naturally there. So the next one is here. It doesn't change the price for you. That is so strange, Patricia. That is really weird. You still send me that PM and then we will look into it, because definitely it's something that I'll be able to ask about. Okay, yeah, concentrate on coloring and we will definitely get there, because it might just be an issue with you. I don't know, it could be some setting on the computer or something. I'm not sure. You may have some setting against cookies or something like that, because it might be a cookie. You might have to, oh my God, that would be complicated to explain, and I'm not a tech. Well, I have worked as a tech assistant, but that's a lot of years ago. So that's a more complicated thing, because then you would have to reset your browser and allow for cookies, because it might be a cookie problem. I'm talking about cookies and everybody's thinking like, why is she talking about cookies now? What is that? What is cookies? What does food have to do with it? Cookies is a trail that the website will leave. And it might be, you see this mauve, to me is not mauve, it's a light purple. This has got nothing to do with what color I wanted whatsoever, or what I was expecting. But it might go well in between this and the purple, so still it's gonna work for me, but it was definitely not what I wanted. So I'm gonna have to work on finding one that can be in between that, because I wanted something that was more like the pink. I'm pretty disappointed right now. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look if there's something that I would. There's a purple grape. I think I'm gonna just check out that purple grape. You know, that's like just not the color that I had expected at all. Yeah, and that's just purple. That's not in between the fuchsia and the, you know, that is okay. Not happy about it. I need something that goes in between that fuchsia and that mauve. I need like a darker, like a magenta pink thing. Sorry for rambling. Yeah, it can be confusing with all the different things with the computers. It was confusing to me in the beginning. But I did multimedia design, so I've actually learned a lot about the workings. I mean, I didn't start with computers before until like in 2003. So I was a late at beginning. So I do know how it feels to feel really challenged in understanding all of it. I've learned to understand through the years, but still there's so much that I don't grasp yet. So don't feel bad about that. We just get through it. You know, we'll work through it and we'll find a solution, and I'll help you get there. So no worries about that. There's always a solution to a problem, and I'm great at finding solutions. So I will definitely try my best to help you and figure out what's going wrong. But I could very much think that it could be some setting. It could also be some privacy setting, I'm not sure. But it might just be the cookie trail that is maybe disengaged. Maybe there's some those who set up your computer originally, they might have set it up so that to protect you with the cookies or something like that, and that might actually be preventing the site from registering when you've actually shared it. So there might be something there that I'll have to look into. because I haven't heard about the issue before, because other people have gotten the discounts, because I can see it on the statistics in there. So usually, actually, when I do, I think I've only had 1 or 2 sales where it wasn't, where the discount wasn't registered. So here we go with this light. Why do they call it mauve? The mauve that we had in the Letraset Pro Marker set was like a perfect dark magenta, and I was like kind of expecting that. That's what can be frustrating when they have the same names, if they don't really carry through with the colors, because this is sort of like that kind of purple where you think it's sort of gray or purple, and definitely not the mauve that I was thinking about. But then we learned something new about the colors here, so it's not a total loss. It's just not what I wanted. Yeah. So yeah, nice one. So it's a little bit too much of an upset between colors than what I had in mind. So that one will definitely have to go to what we would call a light purple. And the color here on the top doesn't really say this color, does it? I mean, this color says definitely that it could go in between these two, you know? I mean, in this sequence, when you look at those, it looks perfect. No? It looks perfect. This is what I hate about that. Because when you look at it there, it's just a grayish. I'll put it up real close so you can see. You see that they have nothing to do with each other. That light purple down there and that really hot color here. So I just demonstrated that. I hope Chameleon takes notice that they need to do something about that color on the top, so that it just fits with the color inside. That would be very nice and helpful. But of course, it's like that with any set. Colors in any set, colors are deceiving. So it's not just something that is explicit for this one. It happens with all sets. So it's nothing new. That's why I always recommend using templates to make your colors, you know, to test your colors, like in my color companion, just to see your true colors of your sets. And that's what I do every time I get a new set. That's the first thing I go and do. I just didn't do it with this ones because I unpacked them to play with you guys. So I haven't had time to record the full set in my color companion yet, because I've just been diving in, getting to know them with you. And that's sort of been my approach to using them here. Because the other sets, like the letter set and the style files, I know really well, because I have done my color companion and I've colored with them before. So those, I don't get really huge surprises, except in the blues and greens. I might still get surprised because I don't remember them from when I was testing, because I don't use them as much. And my tiger markers, of course, I know in and out the colors of those. So this is just a very new set to me that I haven't worked with a lot, and that I'm getting to know and getting familiar with. But in change of normally doing it my way, this time I've been doing it like getting to know them with you guys. So that's also on purpose. I'm sort of trying to get my head around them with you guys so that you experience it too. So this is nice. Yeah, so today was a leftover roast beef from yesterday. So I made a cold potato salad with lots of red onions and chives and the sour cream, and then of course cold potatoes that I cut up, and then just the roast beef cut in thin slices. It's really lovely pink, so tasted really good. So that was good. No sauce today. And I am going slowly but surely. It's not going to be one of those fastest ones because there are really a lot of lines on this one. So, and you have to remember, if you're sitting with it in US letter size, I'm actually sitting with it in double size, so that also takes a little bit more time. But you get to see it much nicer on the camera than if I was sitting with a little one. And I get to be able to use it afterwards as one of my originals. It was fun yesterday when I filled out the last parts of the drawing. I couldn't help myself but fill it out. I already uploaded it on the colored album here on my page, so you can see it there a little bit closer by the scan. That might be nice in case anybody wants to fill out theirs, just for the heck of it, for the fun. I didn't do anything really difficult, but yeah, of course I'm happy that we're getting on here with this. I'm so happy we've come so far already. Let's see. So this is here. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And that one will be here. So yeah. I'm just counting down here because this is going around the eye. Then you can see this 1, 2 before the one goes whole. 1, 2. So this is the whole 1, 2. Then it's here. So that means that I just have to backtrack on that last piece there, and that would be that lovely mauve that annoyed me a little bit. But it's better to backtrack now than later. So now we can go on down here and move on. No, never get so upset that we stop coloring. Hi Rose, nice to see you. Hi Kimberly, nice to see you and welcome to the party. I'll say cheers to everyone. Here's my red wine, cheers. And here's to this one becoming lovely. It's a fun drawing. Oh yeah, my experience with bulls. My bull story. When I was a small kid, I used to live in the countryside. And one day I disappeared when I was about 3 years old or something. And they found me with the biggest bull, the neighbor's bull. He had gotten out of the fold outside, and he was in the next door garden. And they found me sitting next to this huge bull. And that was cool. I was happy. The bull was okay. And that was my first bull experience. And later, when I was about 10, well, maybe from when I was 8 to I was 10, I was also living in the countryside. And my dad's brother had a farm. And I got friendly with the bulls, especially one bull. They had one bull, and he was more like, the kind of bull that you couldn't let out because he was a little bit wild and rowdy. And yeah, so that means when all the others were on grass, then he would still be in the stables alone. And I felt so sorry for him, because in the stables, well, next to the bull pens where they kept the bulls, there was one pen with the rabbits, but those long-haired rabbits, the ones that you use for yarn and stuff, Angora or something like that. Well, he would be there. So when I was going out to visit my rabbit, I would see him there, and he would be lonely. And I thought, that's really sad. So I'd be talking to him, this huge Hereford bull. And I was just a little girl, so I'd just be talking to him and saying, oh, don't feel lonely. And we got really good friends. And I'd go in his pen. You see here, it switches up again, that color. Where this one was expecting to be darker, and now it's lighter. There's definitely something going on with these purples that is not satisfactory. I'll have to shift them up because I saw that the other purple was darker. So I'll have to really work on my sequence of the purples so that I get my perfect purple sequence. It's not a disaster because now I see it. Then I can sort of act on it and work on it to see how it's going to be, you know, how it's going to play out if I want to have it perfectly. Well, anyways, I would actually go into his pen and I would like comb him. I'd play cards with him, solitaire, and I'd fall asleep in there also. And I was the only person who could go into the pen without food. My dad's brother, he could go in there, but with a bucket of food. But otherwise people couldn't go in there. So, and he would, like, if he heard my steps over the yard, he would start making noises because he wanted me to come in there. And I think one day they couldn't find me. I was supposed to have been in bed. They couldn't find me, and they found me in the bullpen sleeping next to the bull. So that's funny. So that's my bull stories. I think that bulls are, well, cows are nice animals, but I think that bulls are misunderstood. They're not aggressive, you know. If you treat them right and you talk with them, you play cards with them, you know, give them a little bit of understanding, you know, then they're actually quite charming animals. So, yeah, they found me sleeping. You know, he was lying down, and I was like half with my head on his stomach, and the cards were in the hay, and I was just sleeping, like, you know. So yeah, that's my my pet bulls. So if I ever get a farm, I definitely want a bull, a pet bull. I would like to have, like, you know, like the most cute ones that I've ever seen is the Highland cattle. They're not that big, but they're just so adorable. With the long hair, oh my God. So yeah, definitely one day I'll have a bull. Just my own little pet bull. Then I'll go to the village and do the shopping with my pet bull on a leash. I'll be popular. So yeah, I'm continuing this one out here because it just fits with the sequence. And then we're going in here with the eyes. So yeah, I think that that's sort of, normally I don't really think about what I draw. It's sort of, when I draw weirdies, they sort of develop because there's lines and lines and lines, and all of a sudden I start seeing something, and then I'll work on from what I'm seeing. But I do have a few where I think that they could be a little bit bull related. So maybe I was a bull in a previous life or something. I don't know. That might be why I get them in some of my drawings. I see them appearing all of a sudden. So yeah, I like them. So this one goes here. You see that there's sort of an order to how they go, at least in how I color them, so that they sort of get a sequence, which I think is pretty neat. It's a flow. Well, these are flow drawings, so there's a definite flow. And they're just supposed to be fun and wacky and help you not think about anything but just enjoy your colors, or think about funny stories of what that weirdie could mean or what it is, just, you know, like that. So this one was actually supposed to be like this because it was a lavender, but the lavender seems like a light purple. So there's something with this mauve and this lavender, they should be closer in sequence, and then there is another purple, the purple violet, that I think would be better. So maybe have the fuchsia, then the purple violet, and then the deep violet, and then maybe the lavender, and then the mauve, or or the mauve and then the lavender. So I'll have to check that. And now we're into indigo. Indigo, that's a dark blue that I thought was really charming because it has so much blue pigment, even though it's dark. I really think it's very lovely. So that looks lovely. Really nice. I'm enjoying this a lot. I'll look at comments in a second. I just have to dig in here. Yeah, you can draw with a bull. I think because I was a kid, I didn't really feel intimidated by the size. I never really was afraid of big animals. I've been much more afraid of smaller animals. But I haven't really been afraid of animals, I have to say. Probably more afraid of people than animals. But I think also I have very good connection with animals always. I've always been good at training dogs, and I've always been good at this kind of thing with a connection with animals. So, I mean, just look at my boyfriends. My track record is hilarious. Sorry, that was a personal joke for myself. Usually, the men that I fall for are men where people will cross the street like 30 meters before they come close. So I'm good with animals. They're soft teddies, so I'm not afraid of size. Yesterday, I'll just show you the one from yesterday. I actually, yesterday I filled it out a little bit. This is the one from yesterday, but you can see this part was not filled in, and this was blank. Those were white spaces, and that was a white space too. And then in the end, I just felt like, you know, drawing something inside of them. So I did a little bit of a drawing after I colored yesterday. So that was just that, Rose. I'm using chameleon markers right now. I switch it up. I don't use the same every time, and I will also be going into colored pencils and stuff. But right now I'm trying to get to know the chameleon markers because I broke out this set when we started the color Weirdie day, because I wanted to use that for quite a lot of it because I do have refills for it. So it makes sense for me to use it because I'm not so afraid of running out of color because I have the refills. And then I thought, you know, I haven't really worked a lot with chameleons, so I don't have a lot of experience. And I have the color tops, and you can grade from light to dark, and then there's these color tops where you can mix the colors. And so I was thinking, you know, I would use them throughout the Weirdies, not on every Weirdie, because I want to use other colors too, and pencils and pastels and aquarels and all the different kind of material, so that you can all see how I may use them, or you know, learn with me and get to know some of the different sets there are, because I have quite a lot of different sets. So it might be a nice thing to get to know them before you might make an opinion. I'm very honest about if I like them or not. Most of the ones I will use I probably like, unless I've tried, you know, there will be some things that I haven't tried before. So there you will just get my first impression, because the stuff that I don't like will usually end up in my daughter's art corner. So if there's something that I know that I don't like, then I probably won't show you. But, you know, you might get to see some things that I don't like because I didn't try them before, and I'll try them with you guys. And then you'll get my first impression of it, the colors and everything. And then hopefully also with the pastels, maybe a few tricks and with the color pencils. That's the learning curve that some of them I will be learning on, and then you'll be learning by seeing me do it as well. And I do know a lot about colors. I did go to art school and stuff like that, so I might be able to give you some hints and some tricks, but normally I'm more like into flat coloring, but I can do other kinds, and I'm going to show you different things that you can do that are easy. I'm into it being easy. I don't want to complicate life too much. It has to be fun. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, Tina. Nice to see you back. You're done with your Weirdie almost. Already. Oh my God, I'm too slow. Or is it the Weirdie from yesterday? Is it the one from today or the one from yesterday, Tina? I got to know if I'm behind you. I know somebody is in front. I know a few are in front. So that's a good thing too. And some are just beginning. We got a lot of new people that have joined where I see that they're beginning, and I'm seeing the first ones, and that's awesome to see. And there's no, it doesn't matter when you post your Weirdie. It doesn't matter when you finish your Weirdie. If you finish number 1 today, that's cool. So, and if you finish it in a year's time, that's cool too. It's just about having a good time. Nothing much else, and having a good time, hanging out and coloring, and maybe learning something new and interacting, and just having fun with the Weirdies. And some are doing a lot of Weirdies, and some are not doing a lot of Weirdies. So it's more, it's both a coloring thing and a social thing. So, in my opinion, and that was what it was meant to be. So, yeah, I'll have to get used to these blooms. Ah, you started it earlier than me. That's why then. I saw them, but I didn't have time to open them. Oh, great. Oh, after that video, you got all into scanning, so now I'll have to make some more awesome videos. I'll look forward to that. It's nice to see the video done with the scanned VIP pictures. It's sort of cool. It sort of brings it even more to life. So this is the sky blue. And that to me is a little bit like ice, like Arctic polar ice or something like that. Oh, you know where I really want to go one day? I would like to go to Iceland, where they have the northern lights. It could be so awesome to experience that for like reals. And they also have like hot pools. It could be fun. I have a friend who lives there. She's always saying you should come and visit. But one day, I will. One day I'll go there, because it's like a dream to go there with my daughter, like and experience it, even that it's cold. It could be really awesome. I like to do that kind of stuff with her. Travel. See things together, experience things together. I never really did that with my mom, because we could never afford to go on holiday. So in the end, I was only on holiday with her once. And then when I moved to Spain, she was there to visit once or twice, I think. So, yeah, I think, that's one of the things that I really wish that I can do with my daughter. To travel with her, to have those good times where you're not bound by every day. And this year, for the first time, we did get to travel together. The other years we haven't. It's been impossible because I can't afford it. But This year her dad invited us to Spain, and we also went to summer house with the help organization here in Denmark. So that was really awesome. That was like 2 vacations in a row, and she was like, whoa, this is crazy, and she loved it so much. That sounds cool, Tina. Yeah, Iceland. Yeah, that would be so nice to see Iceland, like experience it. And it's supposed to be really unique. I mean, I know that Greenland would be unique too, but Iceland is just like, when you see those awesome northern lights, you're just like, wow, to be there and see that on the sky for real would just be amazing. I have a lot of places I like to go. I've been a lot of places actually earlier in my life as a young woman. My ex liked to travel a lot, and he always, you know, we always traveled together. So I've been a lot of places with him. Been to the States. I've been to New York. I've been to Las Vegas and Detroit. Detroit of all places. Hollywood. We actually wanted to move to LA, and he went there like some weeks before me, or a month or something. And then I was supposed to come and join him. I almost didn't get through the customs because I was studying Russian language and Chinese. And I had my books for the exams in my luggage, and they didn't really understand why I was carrying about books in Russian and Chinese. But I did get in. But then we just decided we didn't like the vibe in LA. Or it was just too, I don't know, it was just not us. So in the end, we moved to Spain because he used to live there before. And we lived there for a long time. And when we broke up, I lived there too. Stayed living there and got Victoria there. And then I moved back here 7 years ago. When Victoria was 1 year old, then I came back to Denmark and started anew. So I did live outside of Denmark for 15 years, which sort of made me accustomed to living in another place and another lifestyle, I guess. So, but I was also working as an artist in Spain. There I had my own gallery and my own studio, and that was with my paintings. So I've been an active artist for well over 20 years. Whoa, well over 20 years. That sounds like really profound, doesn't it? So yeah, we're going on, and it's gonna be developing. Yeah, then you and Mille and me and Victoria could go. Exactly. Those memories are really important to make beautiful memories together. I remember there was, I mean, when she was 2, it wasn't that important, but when she was like 4 years old, then they start like, you know, talking about it in the kindergarten, about the vacations and where everybody's been. And I remember that summer vacation, and summer vacation is long here. I didn't have any money, and I was like, I'll be damned. We have to do something together that makes a vacation special instead of just sitting at home. So I spent like a couple of weeks researching on all the different sites here in Copenhagen, all the things that you could do with kids for free, all the free events, all the free things, because we did have a bus card. I just didn't have any money. So I found, like, you know, I made a whole calendar of June, July, half of August, where there every day was something that we could do that was for free. And we did that. And we were even in the Royal Theatre, because they have like that when it's the finishing of the season for the ballet children, they put up a show that is more like for family and friends. But anyone can actually go in for free and see the show. So we were in the Royal Theatre to see the show. We were at free concerts. Hi, Carol. Nice to meet you and see you here. And welcome to the party. So yeah, so we went to see a lot of things, and we had a great summer, and we had lots of awesome experiences because I made that schedule, and I researched everything, and it is possible to do cool stuff without having a lot of money. So you can still create memories, even if you can't do the expensive shit, like go to Lego World or Disney World or something like that. I mean, you know, those things would be nice to do too. But, you know, if you can't, then there's a lot of other things that you can do. And we did that. And it was a really, really lovely summer. And she wasn't very old. And I remember that her first, that Christmas, I had given her a real camera, not a children's one, because, you know, actually the real ones were cheaper. I got a really, just a digital camera that didn't have that many megapixels. And it didn't cost a lot. So we both had real cameras, and we would take walks where we would take pictures of, you know, flowers and stuff. In the summer, we'd go to the botanical gardens and the different parks and just take pictures. And she was like, you know, she would take pictures of chewing gum on the pavement because she thought they were clues. So, you know, we had lots of fun with everything. Or she'd take pictures of blue marks on my legs or something, you know. I think she took thousands of pictures. And we just had great times, and we'd go out with the camera around our neck and just, you know, have fun. So, yeah, it was a pretty cool summer. And then some of the other years I've been busy because I took that new education, and then I started Global Doodle Jams, and I've been feeling guilty that I've been a bit too busy all the time. But now she's also very much, you know, she's got a lot of friends, and she's also busy, and so it's fine. But it's important to try to take the time to create memories together, because those you will always have, you know. So yeah, I do my best on that, to try to do nice stuff together that she will remember forever, you know, like hopefully remember. I also try to take a lot of pictures, and so she has something to look back on. So yeah, just even day trips and stuff like that, it's cool. It's developing. It's a work in progress. And imagine, Tina, I used to, when I colored before, I take a picture every time I add a new color. You know, every time I add one there and there, scan. There and there, scan. You know, I have some of my drawings where I've like sort of taken like 300-400 scans of one colored piece. But the videos are just like, whoa, blows your mind. It's a lot of work, and it also takes a long time to do the videos. So, but the results are absolutely amazing, especially if you manage to get them scanned right straight on every time. So then it just looks like the perfect progression. Oops, tripod thingy. Yep. It's getting good. We're getting into this. This is the aquamarine, and then we'll be into the greens. So there is a ton of lines when we think about yesterday, where we only used 9 colors, and here today we're using 18. So we're definitely developing, and there has to be some changes in that order on the purples for sure. And I think next step is getting the rest of them worked in to good spots. So the beautiful colors, really lovely colors. But I don't know if I'll be coloring with these tomorrow. I think, you know, now this is the second day in a row with these, so tomorrow I might switch it up and go to something else. And just, you know, it's always nice to change it a bit. So I think this one is going to be green. But I think I might want to now continue here, because you can see this one there. It sort of is a good place to put the green here and continue out into this kind of ear horns or horns. I think these are horns, and this is more ears maybe. So I think that that is sort of a natural place to put it. It's of course however you feel when you're doing it. And as you see, this one, I think it works really well on this side, that it becomes a whole different thing. All the bulls are gone, and then it might be more like fish. It might be a fish there or something. So you can switch up the whole inspiration just by turning it around, which is what I like about these also. That you can do that and find your own image. Of course, it's a bit annoying that I have this Weirdie 1st of January, 10th, and my name down there, you know. It might be nicer for you if it wasn't. But that's because these are the ones that I set up for 0+. So I have to make sure that my information is on it. This is not on in the actual book or PDF where the whole thing is in. There the text isn't on the page. There's only the Weirdie. So you have to live with that on the one that I set, on the ones that I set at 0+. And it's more like, yeah, it's just the way I do it. Besides, it's also a nice, easy way for you to keep track of which Weirdie it was, which day it was. And, you know, when it says Weirdie's 1, it means that it's from book 1, volume 1. And then January 10th, it means that that was the date it was meant to be on. And that's the date that I colored it. So it'd be easier for you to keep a sequence when you're having the ones from the pay hip. So, and actually I think that can work for you and not against you. So I hope you see it the same way too. So here, you know, I'm going to leave that white with the eye, because then I think the eye stands out more. Because I see an eye there. So that's why I'm leaving just that one sequence around the eye white, because then it sort of make a little emphasis on that eye. And I like that. So let's see. Your cat is trying to steal your markers. Nasty. Well, maybe he's just trying to help. Maybe he's trying to be helpful and give you some valuable input. Maybe he's just saying you shouldn't use this color anymore. You should choose another one. I'll just take this one out of the equation for you. Then you can focus on the others. It could be, Heather. You never know. The cat might have a different color scheme in his mind than you have. You know, there might be a different master plan that you don't realize yet about the colors that you're choosing. The cat have seen the whole picture. You just know, no, that color just needs to be gone. We're working with different colors. Could be. You never know. Cats are kind of clever. I'm devious. In a good, funny way. So yeah, we're getting somewhere with this. So now we're moving on to grass green. And the other one was called dark sage. Let's see. It might have had to be the other way around, but let's just test it just to be sure if, you know. So this is a grass green. And now we're going to put the sage. I actually think that it's a good order. So that's fine. We just got that tested. Let's see here. I should be having my color companion next to me so that I could advertise it constantly, shouldn't I? Yeah. It's a good thing to have. But you know, with it, when it's like a little slab like this, then it's easier to start also to have a piece of paper. If I'd already had these in the companion, then I could have the companion next to me and just check them out there. Because then I would be able to see the true colors there. But I have this whole idea of making a second color companion that is fitted to the different sets of pencils and markers in numbers. So, and there in particular, I was thinking about making something also for the chameleons because they are kind of tricky, and you need, you know, you also need to be able to test on how fast they sort of go from one color to another, if you're using the light to dark or you're using the color tubs. So I wanted to develop a nice set where it's easy to test them and get your own feel of them. So it's sort of one of my plant things. But now I'm just getting to know them. So that's a start. It's a beginning. And so far I do like them a lot. I do like the colors. They are very, very lovely. And I do like the fact that they do not streak at all. Which I know that can be different when there's a learning curve when you are going from light to dark or you're mixing colors up where it can get streaky because you have to use the right technique. It's a matter of technique, and then I've heard and read, and I'll probably try to watch a few YouTube videos to be sure that I get at least some of that technique down. But probably not too much before trying the first time, because I want the first time to be more like that you can see that I also, you know, that there is a learning curve. So it's nicer to be prepared for that learning curve and try to learn. This is lovely. I am digging this a lot. I also want to see how the tips hold up, you know, because these are really soft in the end, whereas the other tip here of the felt is much harder. I see an eye here, right there, I see one eye, and I see another eye up here. So that's the two eyes that I see on this one. I don't see more eyes than those, but that's the eyes that I see. But you don't necessarily see the same as I do, so, you know, to you it might not look like eyes, it might be something else. So don't get hung up in what I say about eyes or something like that, because it's just what I see. And we don't have to see the same. That's not necessary. Oh, he's jealous. He's jealous. Cats can be jealous. He doesn't want you to be doing anything else but petting him and just being more focused on him. You know, but cats can be like that. But dogs can be like that. Kids can be like that. Men can be like that. Ah. Ah, you see them now? Yeah? That's cool. But I always like, you know, I try to, sometimes I include eyes in them. If I feel that it's a place where it fits, I put an eye in, if I feel it. But that doesn't mean that you will be seeing an eye there. Because this is a flow. So it will be very different what each person sees. This is a nice color. That was the one that was called Dark Sage. I like that. I actually think that this name fits Dark Sage when you're thinking about sage. Looks very nice. If it had been one with a lot of lines tomorrow, then I think I would have gone for even further expanding the range here to include the rest of the colors, but I don't think the one for tomorrow has that many lines, so I don't think it would work on that. So I think I'll lay the selection aside so that we can work with something else tomorrow, and then maybe revisit with these when we get to one with a lot more lines. Do something else in between. But I do want to develop on the sequence of the colors so that I get it down perfectly before I get on to the color tops and all that. Maybe, you know, do the first template for color testing so that we can do that once I have the sequence ready. That could be pretty fun, and you can also be the first ones to see this new template. And the color tops are just gorgeous. It's little funky ones. So you see now here, I got this one in here. And I'm planning to take that one and continue down here. And then this one, I'll continue out here. So that's sort of my little plan. I just explained to you how I'm going to do that. Because that way that one goes down, that one goes out, and then there will come a new one here. And I think that will fit very nicely in what we're doing. It is very nice and easy to control this brush. Even though it is very, very soft on the tip, it's still sturdy enough inside. It's just the fine, fine tip that is soft. So it's still very controllable and very easy to get into the smaller spots and places. So I'm happy with that, how they made the brush thing. And yeah, it's not real brush, it's just a felt tip. It is shaped like a brush, but it has a nice elasticity to it. So yeah, I think he's developing nicely, and we'll soon be into continuing the reds and the yellows. So I think it will fit well. And this is the one that they call Spring Meadow. So we actually got quite a sequence of greens in, because I took in between each of the colors that we already had yesterday. And this is what I would be continuing to, but some of them have to be shifted around, especially on those purples, and probably on the blues, to be more perfect. And I don't know, tomorrow's drawing is a funky one again that we'll have fun with. It will be very, yeah, I think it will be really funny. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm always looking forward to every drawing, because I think it's so nice to color them and have this break with you guys. I mean, I'm really enjoying that. To color with company is way more fun than to color alone, I think. It's nice to have, see your comments and answer and talk a bit and have a nice evening out of it. It doesn't feel as a task to color, it just more feels like it's fun. Because sometimes when I have to color for the covers and I do all the scans and everything, it sort of more becomes like a task than a fun time. Because I do it effectively, and then I might do more drawings at the same time, and whereas this is a much nicer experience, and I think it's a nice goal to try to color Weirdie a day. I think it's going to be cool with this project. So it's sort of like a whole year project. We'll see how many people get in, and I'm sure that some will fall off also, but more will come in for sure also. So it will be like an ongoing thing, and we'll have fun, and you can join when you can, and sort of like I think that would be a good thing for us. This is lovely. Really lovely color. Very beautiful green. And that's not often you'll hear me say that about a green, unless it's a lime green or a turquoise thing. Yeah, I'm not really that much into greens except for the limes. The next one is apple green, which is the only one that comes a little bit close to lime green in this set, because there's no lime green or no yellow green. And here, I'm going to be going there, I think, on this one. And then I'm going to be going up here. It's going to fit nicely with getting the yellows up in the top here and getting a continuation there. So that it's going to work fine out. It's going to be really pretty. Hi, Beverly. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. We are just coloring this bull of bulls, bull on bull on bull, catching bullfighter trophy hats. We've been having a good time with that, and expanding on the color selection that we had yesterday. So altogether, enjoyable. Having an enjoyable evening with lots of color action and new stuff going on. And of course, yeah, we got that new Weirdie is actually up there already, the 12th, but I'll post it after. But it's already available on the PayHip, just like that set from December. I made that available too, with 39 new drawings in it, and all my colors from December. They're in the PDF as well. So there's the 11 from December that we colored together in December. Then there's 39 totally new drawings, so that makes 50 coloring pages in total. And they're all different, there's patterns, there's mandalas, there's new Weirdie action going on, there's some abstract things, there's There's a lot of variety inside. So not sort of like a theme or line. It's just new drawings that I did mainly in December. And here in January. So there's like one or two that are not new, but the rest of them I think they're new. But they're not in any other books. They're not featured in other books. And they won't, I won't make this into a physical book. It will just be that PDF on the PayHip, I think. Because at some point I'm gonna try to make like an editor's choice book where I'm the editor, and I'll choose favorites from all my books and make some collection that would be a good introduction for somebody new getting started with maybe liking my work and wanting to know something about different kind of drawing styles and drawing things that I do. So I think it could be fun with a book where there's a selection from each of my books. There's one drawing from each one, and I'll choose one of my own, like totally favorites from each book, or one that I think really fits, and make a collection like that. I think that could be fun, because that could also be a good present for somebody who's new at coloring and doesn't know what they like. So they might get a taste of a lot of different little things to do. Because some people might like my mandalas, others might like my patterns, and others might like my Weirdies, and some like Weirdie dollars, some like my Christmas or egg books, some like my frames, some like Imagine World, So I have a lot of different things that are going on. And there will be different people liking different things. So a collection like that would be a great gift for somebody who's maybe doesn't know what they want yet, or what they like to color yet, who's just trying out. And it's the same with the Who's Who and the annual colorist choice books, where you get so many different artists and styles in one book. It's great for a beginner, in order for them to sort of get a feel of what do I like to color, what kind of style, what kind of artist do I like. They're the Who's Who and the annual colorist choice are just absolutely amazing. And the treasury books, they're also really great, because you get that knowledge of different artists that you might not, you can't go and buy a book from each artist always. So getting a big selection book like that, where you get to know a lot of different artists, and you can say, oh, I really love this drawing from this person. Well, then you know that you can go and look a little bit more at that person and what they have. And I think that's very useful if you are beginning. And also important, instead of just taking the ones that they have in the bookshop, try to, check out those indie artists, and you can do that in those books, the treasury, the Who's Who, and the annual colorist choice. There you can get that feel. Also in the Global Doodle Gems volumes books, there is 10 different artists represented with the 6 drawings each, for each month or each volume there. So that you get to know different artists, and I think that's important. And especially also just getting beyond what's just in the shops, because usually they all have the same. And a lot of the cheap shops, they will have something that's called clip art, where you actually end up, if you buy like 5 different books in a cheap shop, you might find that 50 or 20 of the images in all books are the same, because it's clip art, which means that it's just like stock images, clip art images that are bought online by companies who then sit and put them together. So it's not really an artist. Well, yeah, an artist made it, and then they made it available for commercial licensing. So they get a little fee of each time that is used, if it's not stolen. So then that's why that sometimes in some books you will just see the same drawings over and over and over again. Thank you. Oh, dinner nice. Yeah, let's hope for February. You're already scheduling for surgery? That's really early, no? I thought they were going to try some therapy in between, or we're just going to go straight ahead for it. At least if it's moving faster, it will also be over faster in a way, you know, like the you will move on and hopefully the pain will subside and everything. So that would be really nice if it does, you know, that it can help and not be stuck in a waiting position. So yeah, this is lovely. It's shaping up nicely. This one will dry up a lot lighter, as you see here. That warm sunset. That was where we started, the warm sunset, where I was wishing I could sit on a beach with a lovely cocktail in the warm sunset. It would still, I mean, that's still a lovely thought. But I'm also happy sitting here coloring with you guys, with my lovely glass of red wine, and then I have a lovely sunset in my hand. So it's not all bad. It's good too. So yeah. So now it's just that everybody can get their Weirdie on, and remember to download the one for tomorrow as well, and be ready for that. We're gonna imagine it's already been 10 days. I mean, this is a great way of keeping track of the days. Oh, that's nasty. It's already bad again. Hi, Anita. Well, you are welcome to join in. You don't have to color. You know, you can always join in. You just color when you can and you feel like it. But you're always welcome to join in on the Color Weirdie daily. It's more like, you know, that we also joke and have a good time and hang out. It's not everybody that colors while we do it. Some knit or do something else. Some color something entirely different. Don't have to color Weirdie to be on the Weirdie day. And if you want to feel like coloring one, you just do it. So no strings attached. It's just to have fun, and it's fun to join in. So we're going on here. And I think it's going to be a really lovely result in this one. I think we're gonna see something pretty awesome. So I'm happy about that. Really happy about it. And you can see he's so different when he turns the other way around, but it's totally awesome as well on the other way around. So it definitely does not have to be the one way or the other. It has to be the way where you see the most and have the most fun with it. No, I repeated myself. I've said that 100 times. But one can never say too many. There might be somebody new who didn't think about that can be a fun thing to do. And it's also just, even if you color it one way, and then afterwards to turn it around and look at it a bit like that and see how it makes sense there. And that is actually, I remember one of my art professors was very much, art pieces has to be able to be seen from either direction. I don't believe that is the way it's supposed to be. It depends what it is. I don't believe in rules, so I refrain from putting rules or following rules as a general rule. But I think that a lot of good art pieces, you can actually turn them around and see them the other way around and see something else in it too. It, of course, you know, matters a lot what the imagery is, but even like portraits and stuff, then, you know, you can often just turn it around and still see something and still see value in it, and might become abstract, but that it still works, it still connects. It's a rule of thumb in the law of art school. Unless, of course, you're a performing artist who puts live fish in blenders, and then people can press the button if they want, and then that's art. That is different. That's for me, it's just provocation to get attention. It might work. Like there was one guy, an artist, and he got a lot of fame out of it. He had liposuction, you know, like fat suction, and then he of his own fat, yeah, and he had that canned, and he invited his friends over for dinner. Yeah, his friends, and he served them meatballs that were fried in his own fat. And he didn't tell them until afterwards. That was an artistic event. Or another one who had his own shit, put gold around his own shit and sold it. It's like, you know, some people will do anything for attention. And I'm not an art critic, but in my book, that might, instead of being art, being a great marketing gimmick, because you're bound to get some you know, it's the same thing if I took my tit out and dipped it in ink. You know, that wouldn't necessarily be art. I would be coloring with my tit, but that would be something that you would do to get attention. Mainly you would get a lot of negative attention, but you would get attention, and that has marketing value, and you'll be taken notice of. And I think a lot of those things where people do extreme things, it's marketing. And yeah, it's clever in a way, because they end up making money off of it. So, I mean, it's not a stupid thing. I just wouldn't be able to do something like that, because I would feel like a ridiculous idiot. And I'm not a ridiculous idiot. I'm a professional in what I do. But I do see the value of it. But I also find it absolutely ridiculous that you have to resort to things like that in order to make yourself seen or noticed. I think it's actually kind of sad to get known for having done something slightly stupid just to get noticed. But I mean, people do it every day in all means, you know, in all kind of different matters of life. People do strange things just to get attention. So I mean, it is not only in art, that's in other things too. It still does seem kind of ridiculous that you have to resort to that, but it can also be clever, you know. If they get the results that they want, then maybe it wasn't that stupid after all. If they end up making money on their art because they did something absolutely provocative, then, you know, at least they got their goal. They might not have gained my respect, but my respect is probably a little thing compared to the money that they make. So I guess they don't give a flying fuck about that. So yeah, I'll have to think if I can do something really shocking. Yeah, don't expect me to do something really shocking, because I'll disappoint you. I'm not gonna do anything really shocking or outrageous or provocative. I haven't come across anything that I thought would be interesting or fun to do. Yeah. Well, he did it to get attention. Marketing, exactly. It's totally gross. And imagine those people who thought they were his friends. So after we sit there and have had a dinner where he actually fried the food in his own fat, he kind of inadvertently turned them into cannibals. I mean, that's kind of rude. But he did get the attention that he wanted. And I think his pieces are selling for I don't know how much. It was the same with, there was another one. Yeah, there's artists that are known to have made like really crazy happenings. It was Damien Hirst who landed on the Red Square. But that was more like a fun happening. But you know, it's all for the name of art. It's done in the name of art, but it's a gimmick to get attention and press coverage. And that will heighten sales and interest from collectors who will see a future investment, you know. So there's a lot of speculation going on in that kind of department. Presentation. This is all in the presentation. Wonder where it takes you. Yeah, it's disrespectful. It is local. It is really local. And I think it's a wonder that, you know, that it does keep getting noticed, because if it got ignored, then people will stop doing crazy stuff and just start doing, you know, the art. And maybe, you know, if people could be recognized for just the art and not for some crazy gimmick, the art would seem more valuable in itself. Instead of, oh, that's the guy who stuffed some puppies. He bought some really expensive puppies and had them all stuffed. You know, like, you know, I mean, what the fuck? That's a psycho. You know, it's an animal abuse. It's a psycho. It's not an artist. It's a psycho. When you do it, then he gets attention and his pieces start selling really expensive because the collectors are like, oh, he's going to go places, this one. I better get some pieces from him, and it's a great investment, and yeah, that's the way it goes down. It's the art world. That's why it's not that much fun to hang out at gallery openings and stuff, because all the artistic intellectuals are looking for some gimmick to make their name, or they are trying to be as weird or as strange or have as strange clothes or weird behavior as possible at the events, just to be noticed more. And that's like tiring, because it's like you're on a stage acting in a play. That's why I hate this. You know, I like to go out and play pool. I like to have a beer. I don't want to stand with a glass of champagne in my hand and pretend like I'm somebody that I'm not. I just want to be me. And then recognized for what I actually do. You know, I don't want to stand there and be acting all strange, like I'm on a stage to get people's attention, or dress up weirdly just to have people notice you. I mean, that's not in my nature. So yeah, I feel awkward at those gatherings, and I don't attend. That's right. When I attend, I'm like, I just want to leave. You know, I'll just have some drinks and then I'll leave. I just can't be bothered. But besides, here in Denmark, I don't know anyone, so I don't get invited to all that. In Spain, I went to a lot, but that's more because I also had friends, and I had a gallery, and I was in a lot of the galleries and stuff like that. So it was sort of more natural. But definitely, most boring thing you can do, stand with a bunch of loonies and pretend to be something that you're not, while you're sipping some cheap cava. Boring. So yeah, I don't usually do my appearance and be there for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then I just go shoot pool. So that was sort of my way of dealing with it, which didn't really help my marketing value, you know. It didn't really sell me any paintings. But we can't all be outrageous. I can be outrageous, but not something like that. That's just that. If I'm outrageous because of something else, probably. Because I'm just crazy about it. Hi, Julie. Really nice. So, yeah, you missed quite a lot, but we are far from done. So you haven't missed that much. And look at him on the other way around. It's pretty cool. It's a cool one. The running of the bulls. I hate that, the running of the bulls and the bullfighting, all that. I hate it. I love bulls. So I don't like those things. But these are my two bulls who have chased down some bullfighters and now have 2 bullfighter hats as trophies. Yeah, these are fierce rainbow bulls who will hunt down bullfighters and take their hats as trophies. And then they'll go chill on the beach with a cocktail in the warm sunset. So that kind of fits. And they'll be singing somewhere over the rainbow. And if I could sing, that would have been profoundly better. But I can't, so I'm sorry about that. It's always good with funny stories, you know? You just have to get me started. And, you know, I have lots of funny stories. But I sort of have to dig them out sometimes. It's not like, you know, I can't just like come up with a funny story. It sort of has to appear in my head. I have lots of them, so you'll probably be hearing more when they sort of appear mysteriously somewhere in the back of my head, because I think about something that was probably totally unrelated, but for me somehow was related, and then all of a sudden becomes a theme. So that's what you can expect with me. Expect the unexpected. Yeah, hang out with the bulls. But also in life, you do tend to experience things and accumulate stories and fun experiences. I mean, I've had a lot of those fun experiences, and I've seen a lot of things that can't be unseen, unfortunately. But you know, once you've seen them, then you know, some things will keep amusing you forever. Other things you'd rather forget, but I tend to forget the ones that I want to forget, unless they're hilariously funny. I mean, some awkward things or some embarrassing things can also be really, really funny later. Maybe not in the moment, but later. And then they're definitely keepers, because funny stories are always keepers. I think it's gonna be pretty. And we're getting a lot closer, and I really like every time I turn it around how it just switches, because as soon as I turn it, I don't see any bulls anymore. There's no bulls when I turn it around. Today I was a little bit late, actually. It was almost 11 o'clock when I started. Oh, you came home with 64 markers. Which markers did you get, Julie? I'm curious. What did you get? What did you get? Which ones are they? Oh, that's great, Beverly. You can sing. I suck at singing, but I do love singing. So it's not like I'm gonna not sometimes come in with a line from a song, because that happens to the best of us. All of a sudden it's in your head. And so I'm not gonna like stop singing just because I can't. sing. You know, I'll still come with some lines, and I hope you can live with that. I won't sing whole songs and stuff. You know, that would probably be horribly painful. So a line or two is okay. Don't want you, you know, running off screaming like, "Oh my God, she sung! It was horrible." But you know, instead of screaming or and running off, you could also just laugh. That's better. Me neither. I'll look forward to seeing that. A rainbow Weirdie. Well, you know, if they work, they work. As long as they got colors, lots of colors, and 64 sounds like a lot of lovely colors. So, are they alcohol or water based? So this one is going to continue down here. Yep, just right here. And this one. We're going to have like a collection of really hot videos from this. I mean, the speed videos are turning out so awesomely. I'm really loving them. So remember to, if you can, share the speed videos because people will like those also. I don't think a lot of people will watch the full live videos when they're so long. That's more like you had to have been there maybe. Or you had to know me or something like, you know, that, you know, if you're used to seeing the full ones and you miss it, then it could be fun to see it because you know my personality and stuff like that. But if you're like a new person who's never seen it before, then it's more fun to see the speed version. And then join in on the live version where you can actually communicate and say stuff to me and interact with us all. Because we're all here and we can all interact. So that's what makes it a fun experience. So there's that mauve again. So that finishes the top of the horns here. And we'll finish the ear down here. What I see is the ear. And this will be the last one around the eye here. I'll leave that last one here white so that the eye stands out a little bit. It's a very small eye. But if you notice, bulls have very small eyes compared to their size. And then we are just, then we'll just have these two sections left to work on after we finish down here. So we are getting closer to having a complete Weirdie of the 10th done. And it's pretty good, I think. I mean, this is that issue of the sequence of the purples, but, you know, that can be fixed in the next one. So definitely, we're getting closer. And now we have 10 finished ones. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I heard from that guy that I was annoyed with. He said, I was afraid to call you because we were quarreling. No, we were not quarreling. I was telling you that I thought it was bullshit that you didn't call me for 14 days, for 2 whole weeks. It's not a quarrel. Believe me, that's me telling you off. It's not a real quarrel. So he was really happy that I answered the phone. I think he was actually surprised I answered the phone. But I answered the phone because I was asleep. So I hadn't seen who was calling. So that was just his luck. uh, well, we had a good talk, so that's good. Now we'll see if he's finished being afraid that I won't answer his call, or if he's understood the fact that I was telling him off. That means that he should probably pull himself together instead of being afraid to call me. And, you know, maybe do something to prove me wrong or whatever, instead of being afraid to call me. I mean, that'll just piss me off even more. Then the next call will be even more awkward, you know? So, better to take the bull by the horns. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm too old for games, you know? I'm too old for all that shit. So I'm just gonna be me, and then it's take it or leave it. This is lovely indigo blue again. I really like this indigo blue. I guess I say that every time. Slightly annoying. But I do like it. It's having, because, you know, a lot of times the dark blues are so dark that you don't really see the color. And on this one, it's dark enough, but it's not too dark that you can't see the nice blue pigment. So I do like that about it. So. Exactly, he should just call me more often. If I tell him I don't accept the fact that you don't call me for 14 days because it makes me frustrated and it hurts me, then call me more. Don't just go ahead and not call me a whole week again, because that's just going to piss me off. I mean, awesome, Russ. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So yeah, I guess, you know, in all new relationships or where you're getting to know each other, you have to get used to that you're different people, and you might have had different experiences with others before. And when you're not young people, then it's a different learning curve, and you both have like real lives and stuff like that also has to fit in, and I don't know. So, you know, it's a learning thing, and I'm not really great with relationships anyways, because I'm always busy with my own stuff, and I haven't really been in a relationship for a long time, and so I'm probably very set in my ways, and I'm also very much the kind of person who takes no bullshit, so I'm not about to sit and listen to sob stories or, you know, like stupid excuses or something like that. It's just like, you know, say it like it is, or keep your mouth shut, you know. It's just, don't come with stories, you know. Say it the way it is, because I can see through stories very easily. So yeah, we'll see. Be genuine, be real, be you. Because that's what I am. I try to be as much as I can. You know, I'm too old for the bullshit. No reason. No, don't got time for that. It's either or. Some of them, they hang out good too. You know, they're like tight. They close tightly, so they're hard to open. Some of them, just a little bit. It's really getting nice, and I think, you know, it's nice how the colors come out and get repeated here, and that's why I knew that I could expand the colors, because there were so many lines. So I knew that there would be enough lines that it wouldn't feel like it was only yellow in here, that it would still be repeated out here, so that it would get that completed feel. Where Whereas if it had been a fewer lines, then I wouldn't have gone into that many colors. So I need to have a look at the one for tomorrow. Have a look and see which one is it. It's up there already. Well, it's been up there since yesterday. I think I put it up yesterday, the 11. And I already put the 12 up. I'll just post, I'll make the post after, because it's already on the pay hip. So yeah, it's just to grab it to be prepared for the 12. And I'm telling you, the 12 is a funny one. It's a funky one. It's a dude, a funky dude. The first time I colored him, I think he was red, black, and white. And I have no clue what I'm going to do with him next time, because he's very funky. But since I'm mainly doing rainbow, and I didn't do him in a rainbow last time, then maybe it could be fun to do him in a rainbow. But we'll see how I feel in the moment. And we're even getting all the way back almost to the yellow again. So that's a good sequence out here in those far corners. We work our way through. I love that. Exactly, better to be pissed off than pissed on. Exactly, I've been myself and I've been honest since the beginning. And I actually think he has been too. I just think that maybe he was a bit hurt or something. And in some ways he's sort of he comes out with all the headlights on, and then he draws back, and then he comes out again. And I don't think that it's because there's something necessarily wrong with him. I just think that he has a different nature than me. That he draws back to think and reconsider, and I don't know what. And just more, like more careful, maybe. Maybe not like an elephant in a China store, like I am. I'll just like burst out. And I mean, I also grabbed him the day I saw him, I just, so, I mean, I probably wouldn't have talked to him if it hadn't been for me, because I don't think he would ever have come up to me anyways. Well, that's awesome, Russ. That's great to hear, because we need to be hooked on the weirdies. I mean, they're funny. They are liberating. They are, they are funny. You see, I'll show you the next two. This is the one that we got going for tomorrow. And you can see this is sort of like, there's some alien action here. I mean, I think about Alien when I see it. And this is the one for the 12. As you can see, he doesn't have a lot of lines, and he's really funky and weird. I don't know how he will look the other way around. Then it's a whole other character. I think I'm going to color him like this, so that I see him as a whole different one. I think that would be fun. And this one, of course, you can also turn around, and then it's also a different one. So yeah, and that's a fun thing, like even like, if you color the Weirdie and you later, and you print it again, and you color it the other way around, and you get a different result. Nah, I don't know. I think, I don't know. I'll see, I'll talk to him and see him again. Also, my daughter sort of misses him, and she really likes him. And he's really, really great with her, so they have lots of fun, and yeah, so I don't know. But I'll definitely see him, because I really like him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. I mean, if you've been single for 7 years, you don't just start dating someone out of the blue. I was perfectly happy the way I was. I mean, I had my lover. Everything was fine. I dumped my lover. I mean, come on. That's crazy. dump something that works really well just for something that you don't know. I did that because I see something in him. So there's definitely reasoning behind it. But yeah, I think it looks good. And we spent 2.5 hours on it. That is pretty cool. And I was actually thinking that I wanted to do 2 twisters. So I'm going to close down and then I'm going to open up and do 2 little twister positivity chill pills. So if anybody wants to see me drawing, I will be drawing 2 chill pills in a couple of minutes. I'll just go to the loo and then I will be back. So see you and be ready for tomorrow. And maybe I'll see you for the drawing. Live drawing. Bye-bye.